Remember, the sky is not the limit, it's just the beginning. Loop back in, and let this vision of a pink jet flying over pink clouds fuel your dreams and ignite your imagination. Welcome to the ballet of the skies. There is a beautiful woman named Crene, intelligent, gorgeous, and creative, including being a future doctor and a business owner. She knows how to give you a run for your money. And now introducing the superstar herself.
Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today's video is going to be about Mexico versus USA pharmacy operations. Okay, so for USA, pretty much if you're American watching this video, you already know how the healthcare system works, but basically for people who are in other countries watching this video, if in the United States, we have to go to the doctor for pretty much every single thing. So basically, so many words is, say for example, I'm sick, I get a bacterial infection, I have to go to the doctor to get a prescription. So let's start there. And that's when transfer to the pharmacy dispenses it, cool. However, in Mexico, the doctors tell you something's wrong with you and you get it straight over the counter. So last year in Mexico, I went to Cozumel, Mexico, and I'm gonna show you the footage of where I recorded over there. So yes, it is true, you can really grab it and pay for it and go. So for example, with antibiotics, amoxicillin, ciprofloxacin, metronidazole, any type of medication you could think of, you can grab over the counter. So majority of these medications that are in Mexico, you do not need no prescription for them. And that's like a big difference between the United States versus Mexico. United States, you have to go to the doctor, get a prescription. In Mexico, you just straight go over there and pick your medicine. And over there in Mexico, for a medical consultation, it really costs up to $3 to $20. And with surgeries, any type of procedure that you want done, I'm gonna post a chart right here. So right now I'm looking at the chart. So for a cataract surgery is $3,500, and in Mexico is $2,100. Another example is rhinoplasty. In the United States it's costing $12,000 for a rhinoplasty. In Mexico it's only $2,800. Second thing we're gonna get into is quality, safety, and regulation between the two countries. Starting with the United States, we have the Food and Drug Administration, aka the FDA. So basically go through clinical trials to make sure the drug is safe before they put it out to the public. And in Mexico, I don't know how to properly pronounce it, but it's the COFEPRIS, and this system is regulated by the Mexican government. So yes, they do have their own system over there. Now, a question that most Americans have is that, can you order medications from Mexico? And the short answer is yes you can. So with the FDA, they have allowed Americans to order from Mexican pharmacies online. However, please be aware of the non-safety stuff that's happening over in Mexico when it comes towards the United States. Some pharmacies in Mexico are not even licensed. So what I mean by that is that they're not even regulated. However, when you order from a online Mexican pharmacy, you have to have a valid prescription from the doctor in order for it to get shipped over here and used over here. So with online ordering with Mexican online pharmacies, please make sure that it's a legit pharmacy. So what I mean by that is make sure the pharmacy is licensed, make sure the pharmacy staff is licensed, make sure that the discounts, like if it says like, oh, for 30 pills it's only $2.20, please be aware that if something's too good to be true, always double check it. When the pharmacy doesn't require a prescription, that should be a red flag automatically. So say for example, with me going to Cosmo and Mexico, and another question is, are we able to bring the drugs back to the United States? Short answer is yes. However, it's only certain drugs you can bring back to the United States. And I'm gonna post a list here, and I'll link it into my description. But yeah, it's like a whole list of what the FDA will allow and won't allow. And of course, amoxicillin is not a control medication. And for people who don't know what a controlled medication is that a controlled medication is when you have a high potential of being addicted to that drug. So when I say a controlled medication like oxycodone, hydrocodone, Adderall, fentanyl, drugs like those can be highly abused. So there is some guidelines. The FDA did have some guidelines if you do bring those medications back to the States. And I can insert it right here, and once again, it'll be in the description. Next, we'll go into the fentanyl crisis in the United States and counterfeit pills. So last year in March 2023, when I was working in the pharmacy, I did hear a lot about how it's counterfeit pills coming into the United States. And I remember my pharmacist, she was saying that there are a bunch of counterfeit pills coming into the United States, and I was kind of concerned. I was like, how is it gonna go into the manufacturers and us as pharmacies? If we're ordering from the manufacturers and it's gonna hit us, how can you tell from a real pill from a fake pill? And that's when she showed me. So here's the pictures here. So being a pheramicist, it's getting harder and harder to become a pharmacist because you gotta spot that too. So, but here's here's a little video in context of the counterfeit pills entering the United States.
For The Brief, our weekly segment with the LA Times, this morning we're getting an inside look into a new investigation. During 5 trips to Mexico, Times reporters purchased and tested 55 pills from 29 pharmacies in 8 cities. They found that at least 50% of the pills were counterfeit, mimicking well-known American drugs, and some came in sealed bottles. To tell us more about this is LA Times writer Carrie Blacklinger. Hello, Carrie. Thank you so much for being with us this morning. We really appreciate it. Can you take us into a deep dive of this investigation? How were you able to go about and buy these pills and then test them?
Well, just like any tourist might, we went to Mexico and we visited small pharmacy tourist areas and along the border, and we just went in and asked for pills over the counter without a prescription. Specifically, we mostly asked for Percocet and Adderall. And in the places that would agree to sell them without a prescription, we then brought them back and brought them back to our hotel and tested them. Had tested at a lab, and we found that about half of the 55 pills that we tested were fake. Specifically, it was around 80% of the Adderall that we tested was fake, mostly meth. Although one of them was MDMA, ecstasy, and we found that around 30% of the opioids that we tested were fake, mostly fentanyl, although one of them was bunk.
Yeah, it's really fascinating because, medical tourism has really been a driver. If people go to Mexico hoping to get cheaper surgeries and then find drugs there that they may not be able to get in this country or may not be able to afford in this country. But when you hear that it's meth and fentanyl that you're getting instead of some of the prescription drugs, it's very, very scary. I know you guys broke this story several months ago. Can you tell us what's changed as you've been following up on this?
When we initially started writing about this, we had focused our testing on a few cities in northwest Mexico. So we looked at Tijuana and Los Cabos. And then after we initially wrote that story, we decided to go back and see if this was happening more broadly. So this time around, we went to a total of 8 cities, and we tried to get all over the country. So we did Tulum, Cozumel, Playa del Carmen, Nuevo Progreso, which is on the Texas border, and Puerto Vallarta, and then of course the 3 cities that we did the first time. And we did find that this is happening all over the country. It is predominantly in small independent pharmacies, although there were a couple regional chains that also seem to be doing this. And this time around, we also found some places where it was sealed bottles as opposed to individual pills. Most of the stores that were selling this were selling them as individual pills, but there were a few places in Puerto Vallarta and Nuevo Progreso that were selling sealed bottles that were counterfeit.
But overall in the video, we talked about the price differences between 2 countries, safety and regulations, and the fentanyl crisis coming into the United States. Any questions, comments, concerns, please comment below. And also don't forget to subscribe. So bye-bye.